Hello everyone, so it is time for a new reading log. I am starting it without makeup on because we're gonna do my makeup together, and I normally don't do this, but recently I've seen a lot of booktubers that I watch do this and I just love it. And I did it in a recent vlog, and when I was editing it I was just like, you know what, I like this a lot. So ignore any mess behind me, please. I need to clean my room at some point, preferably soon, but it's just not happened yet. And you know what? It's fine. So basically, I decided to do this because I mean, it's Christmas and I love Christmas, and just like I love the end of year and beginning of year content, and I want to vlog about it. And the end of year content, I get really overwhelmed because I'm just like, you know, oh my gosh, like I have to finish everything, and you know, like I get really stressed, but I need a reminder that I literally don't have to finish a single thing. I can just read whatever the fuck I want, and if I don't finish some things that I started this year, I'm literally just gonna finish it in the new year. Like, it literally is not that big of a deal. So, I also basically need to do a little bit more Christmas shopping today, and so I'm gonna go out. I want to go to the bookstore mainly. I basically did everything yesterday already, and I'm gonna put in some clips after this of the city. I feel like obviously I've seen the decorations the past month, but like I just have not fully absorbed it. And I went shopping with my bestie yesterday, and we're actually quite successful, but I also did not buy the things that I originally was supposed to get. So basically this vlog is probably gonna be kind of chaotic. I was gonna start a vlog when I visit my family, which is gonna be in 4 days now. But again, I have today when I'm free, and then I'm gonna have work tomorrow, after tomorrow, and after that. So like I'm gonna be gone the entire day, and I'm probably not gonna be doing that much reading in the evening, but we're gonna do some reading today. We're gonna have some amazing Christmas vibes, and then we're gonna, you know, come with me. I mean, what the fuck am I talking about? You're gonna come with me to see my family, and you're gonna see my cats and all of that, which I'm so ready for. So I thought that I would start it here, continue it there, and then I'm gonna do probably like another vlog or two when I'm actually there. That's that. So let's talk about some books as I do this. And yeah. So basically I am doing a vlog right now where I read books with green covers, just like a sneak peek. It probably will not be, well, I don't know, it might be up when you're watching this, but maybe not. So I'm doing that, and I do want to kind of like focus on it, but there are some other books that I want to read that are like Christmassy, or random books that are just not green that I want to read. Actually, I'll tell you about a book I read yesterday first before we talk about the books that I want to read. So, it's called Rumi's Book of Life, or something like that. There's Book of Life, and it's by Rumi, and I have heard so many people talk about Rumi's poetry. I've seen like, you know, quotes and whatever for years, but I have never read any poetry collection with his poetry, and it is translated from Persian, and it is like classical poetry, and I do not read classical poetry. I've not ever really dove in, besides like back at school, which was just like I hated, not because of the poetry, but because of the school, and like it also like wasn't actually really in English and whatever. And yeah, but if you didn't know, I actually like, first of all, love poetry, and I write poetry, and it just means everything to me. And so that is like something that is like super important for me, and I obviously want to like know the biggest poets of this time, but also like before I was alive. And so I just want to broaden my horizons, especially because like this past year, I don't know if it's that like there have been fewer poetry collections published, or if I just like couldn't find them well, or I don't know, but I was just not satisfied whatsoever this year with the poetry that I've been reading. And I did find some good ones, but just like very few. And so I feel like I just need to maybe try things that I have not tried before. And so yeah, anyway. So I picked this up and I loved it. So basically, obviously there's I think like tons of collections putting together Rumi's poetry and like different translations and all of that, but this one was on Scribd as an audiobook, and so that was like, easily accessible to me. And so actually Scribd is now called Everand or whatever, and it's basically, if I understand it correctly, it's divided into two apps, but it's still the same subscription. And the Scribd one has like the magazines or something, and Everand just has the books, audiobooks, all of that, which I never actually used the magazine stuff. So it's the same for me. It's just called Everand, and it changed on its own. But since I talk about it all the time, I'm still used to calling it Scribd. But that's that. But anyway, so if you have that, that is available on there. The narrator is really great, and the poems basically in this one are just like obviously about life. And in so many ways, like so many aspects of life, it's so much about love, and it's about religion and just the world around us and our connection to it. And I just loved it. It resonated with me so hard. It was so like inspiring and touching and beautiful. And the thing that I feel like makes me normally not like classical, not just poetry, but books, which I know is a very controversial opinion or whatever, but I don't give a fuck. I have heard it many times in my life that classical books are the only good books there are, and anything else is trash, and I'm sick of that, so I don't care. But I'm not saying classical books are bad, obviously. The reason why I never connected to them is because it felt so impersonal, and the poems just did not feel that they came deep from like someone's heart. It was like more about like, describing something in like a very poetic way or whatever. And obviously it's also just like the ones that I ran into at school, not like every single one there is. And so it just made me feel so disconnected, and especially with poetry, like I read it for the human connection. I read it to feel more connected to people, to the world, to life, and all of that. And it is a deeply emotional thing for me. And the poems that are just about like I don't know, it just doesn't always work for me. But this absolutely did. It just felt so raw and human and beautiful. And I cannot wait to read more. And another person I really want to read by that I've been wanting for ages, it was actually on my like books to read this year or whatever, is Emily Dickinson. And I don't have it now. Obviously, I will show it to you later. I have two collections like right there on my shelves. And they are both by obviously poems by Emily Dickinson, and I've been wanting to read it for ages. I just definitely finally want to read that. It just does not feel like something that I can just read in 2 days, which like it doesn't have to be. So I don't know if I'll actually get to that, because maybe I will just save it for next year, but that is that. So let me know, please, if you read poetry, what are your favorite poets and poetry collections? So actually that reminds me, I am rambling so hard. I just feel like the makeup, it just feels like I'm hanging out with my best friend and like we're having a sleepover or whatever, and I never want to shut up. So, I'm not going to shut up yet. So I have two poetry collections that I want to read in this video, preferably. I have been waiting because, again, the Scribd, Everand, whatever, basically puts like a slight limit on what you read, but it's basically unlimited. But throughout the month, like as you read more, it takes away a few books, and so I am going to have it renewed today. And that means that the books I haven't been able to read are finally going to be accessible again. And there's a poetry collection, too, actually. Castaway and Everything Comes Next by Naomi Shihab. And these are two collections by a Palestinian poet that I found when I was looking for books by Palestinian authors. And I love the covers of these, and I wanted to read them this month, but obviously when it limited, I couldn't. But now I'm going to be able to again. So we're going to be reading those. I think like one of the last things I will tell you is, I will again look at my phone, a book that I've been literally like waiting for. I literally found out like the author. The book is called An Earl, His Valet, and Their Wife by Nicola Davidson. So when I found out about this book, when Nicola Davidson posted about it on Twitter, I was just like, oh my god, like, I need this immediately. But it was obviously like a pre-order, it wasn't out yet, and so I was just like, oh my gosh, like, when is this coming out? And I kept checking Kindle to see if it was out already, and like, when was it? And like, when I found out, when I finally remembered the date, which was today, I was just like, oh my gosh, it's happening today, and like, whatever. And so I was just like literally so excited. I downloaded it after midnight, and that is just the best feeling ever, like, it is just like, it just fills me with, oh my god, it just fills me with so much joy, and it's just like the best thing ever. And I am reading a historical romance for the Green video, so I need to finish that first, but after that we are diving in. So yeah, as obviously have a lot of other options and things to read, and I do want to read Christmas things, which I literally have not even told you a single Christmas book that I want to read, but there's just like so much. I honestly don't know what I'm going to start with, so we're just going to talk about that when we get to that point. But yeah, I have been talking for 1,000 years, so I'll just finish my makeup. But I will finish my makeup. I'll go to the bookstore and I will take you along a little bit. Hope you enjoy this vlog. I'm so excited to take you along. Oh, actually, one last thing that I've been meaning to show you is I got my nails done yesterday, and I'm absolutely obsessed with them. Because it's basically like a rose gold, and it looks different in every single light. Like from here, it looks more silver. From, the close-up looks a lot more pink, and it kind of looks gold in other light. It is absolutely perfect because I didn't know if I wanted gold or silver, but obviously I'm a very pink person. I mean, pink is my favorite color, and so it just made sense. And this is going to be the nails that I have for Christmas and New Year's Eve, and I'm just very happy about that because I feel like for me it works for both. So I will finally fucking shut up now. Hello everyone, so it's finally time for an update. I'm at my parents' place. I'm wearing this festive sweater, and I need to talk to you because I have not done an update in multiple days. I have been very busy, and I did come to the conclusion that I really should give myself a break and not focus too much on vlogging and being productive over the holidays. And so we're gonna try to do that, but I have been reading because I am in a really strong reading mood. So I'm just putting it out there so that I comfort myself and realize that I don't have to freak out about anything, that maybe my updates are gonna be a little bit chaotic because I do kind of want to focus more on reading than documenting it, but I will tell you about it, in some ways at least. And I am excited to, finish off the year strong with some amazing books, and I really want to read some Christmas books. So I did finish Cast Away by Naomi Shihab Nye. I'm pretty sure that I told you I would read that. So that is a poetry collection. It was a very quick read because obviously it's poetry, and it's very interesting. I did not actually look that much into what it's actually about, but I'm going to read you the quick little blurb on Goodreads, and it says that it spotlights on the things we cast away, from plastic water bottles to those less fortunate, in this collection of more than 80 original and never before published poems. A deeply moving, sometimes funny, and always provocative poetry collection for all ages. So I felt like this had very unique themes, and especially like the metaphors and like the way that it described different things in life and in the world. And it's quite a lot about like climate change, and as it says, like the things that we throw away and whether that's like, you know, literal or metaphorical. And it was a really interesting poetry collection. I do think I would definitely recommend this to people who are kind of tired of like all the repetitive, you know, basic themes that always appear in poetry. I do honestly, like, I love the things that I love reading about in poetry. I always love reading about, because obviously, like, every single poet is gonna, you know, describe it differently, but this is still like very unique and meaningful, and it's really well written, and the poetry is actually narrated by the author, which I always absolutely love, and so I would definitely recommend the audiobook if you can listen to it. And so that happened, and I absolutely flew through An Earl, His Valet, and Their Wife. So I'm pretty sure I also told you I'd read this, and it's by Nicola Davidson, and this was like a 4.5 star for me. I just love Nicola Davidson, and honestly, I need to read more of her books. Like, I've read a lot of them, but there's also a lot that I have not read, and I do think she's one of my favorite authors. Like, not all her books, a lot of them are Unlimited. She is an indie historical romance author. She writes a lot of like queer, very steamy, very sex positive romances. This book was polyamorous, and I just feel like Nicola Davidson does an amazing job at writing polyamorous relationships where it just feels so like natural, and all the characters fit so well together, and the dynamic is so fun. And in this book, we basically have Michael and Gerard, who basically have been together for like 5 years, and Gary is Michael's valet, and so they kind of like are able to be together in secret, but like also safe and comfortable in their own like estate or whatever. Michael is an earl, and his mom really wants him to have a child because not only she wants to be a grandma, but like there's also like his cousin who would inherit all of the shit, you know, and he absolutely sucks, and she's just like, we don't want that to happen. And so he kind of needs to have a marriage of convenience, and in the end, you know, they find a woman who loves both of them and fits perfectly well into their relationship, and it's just absolutely wonderful. It's so fun. It is a novella, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's 163 pages, and I just absolutely loved it. So highly recommend it if you like historical romance. I read that, and now I do think I want to focus on reading Kristen's books, and I have so many on my phone. Did take Just Like Magic by Sarah Hogel with me, but I started reading it, and I don't think I'm in the right mood for it. I really need something super easy and quick right now. And I do think I'm hopefully gonna love this, but it feels like I need to have more of an emotional investment in this and more of a time investment, and I can't really do that immediately. So I'm gonna try to read this like over the weekend maybe. I do have 'Tis the Season for Revenge, which I really want to read. It is a novel, it's not a novella, but I do think it's gonna be a super quick read, and it's under 300 pages. Then I have like Love at First Sight, which is a novella, and I've heard good things about it. I have Secret Santa by Katie Wilde, which I don't love the cover, but Talia Hibbert posted about it, and if Talia loved it, I need to read it. And I've had it on my TBR for ages. I have You, Me, and Baby by Rosie Adams, which I also don't really like the cover. I obviously absolutely love Rosie Adams, and I thought I read this. According to Goodreads, I have not, but even if I did, I don't remember it, and I do want to reread basically probably not all of Rosie's Christmas books, but as many as I can. And so I think since I probably did not read this, I will make this my first one. And like, I know that I will fly through it and love every second. So that is honestly quite high on my TBR. And yeah, there's like a lot of options, but I don't want to get into all of them. I need to just start something, you know, follow my intuition, and I'll just do that, and I will talk to you tomorrow about what happens. But yeah. Hello everyone. So it is time for our, you know, good old car update. I'm gonna make this quick, but look at me looking all Christmassy. I'm wearing a red lipstick and this red shirt, and I'm actually wearing a Christmas sweater. And the traffic is insane. There's been so many people. I'm meeting my best friend at a mall, which, you know, it's like 2 days before Christmas. Great idea, but I mean, hopefully it's gonna be fine. Yeah, as I'm looking at the completely packed parking lot. So you know, of course there has to be a car right next to me, so we're gonna hold it like this for a second and I'm pretend that I'm not here. But I'm excited to see her, obviously. Not excited to see all the other people, but you know, I have quite a limited time here, and this is basically the only time that we can see each other. But you know, I got here, so I have been reading 2 Christmas books. And why is this person parking literally right next to me? I have I have started 2 things. So I am reading an ebook and an audiobook. And I basically got to like 20-ish% on both of them. So normally I don't like reading 2 books of the same genre at the same time, especially these like technically have the same vibe because it's both Christmassy, but I felt like I started the 'Tis the Season for Revenge and I felt like I already got a really good feel of what the story is like to be able to differentiate between the two. And I really wanted an audiobook yesterday. And so the 'Tis the Season for Revenge is basically about our heroine who, her boyfriend breaks up with her, and it's the classic trope of like, you know, she expects him to propose to her during Christmas, and she's super excited to take their relationship to the next level, and he's just like, you know what, I don't want this anymore. He's a total asshole, and then she basically decides that she wants to get revenge on him, and she matches with his boss on a dating app, and she's like, you know what? I will date his boss, and we're gonna go together to a Christmas party that her ex never took her to. And so that's the vibe, and it is very fun. I heard a lot of good things about it, and I was excited about it, and it is honestly really fun and entertaining. Obviously, there's the problem of like the ulterior motive with the boss, where obviously she's entering this romance with like, you know, kind of like a shitty purpose towards this new man. And however, like she is kind of addressing it like in her head or like with her friends for now, so I hope it's not gonna be totally tragic, but I do think it's gonna be a very fun kind of like office-y romance. She doesn't work with him, but like since he's the boss and whatever, it feels like an office romance. So I'm reading that, and there's like so many fucking people around, so you're just gonna get this double chin angle because like literally everywhere around me there's people. So the other book is called Love Under Contract by Cassie Connor. This has fake dating in it, and now I'm confused because I could swear this was an office romance, but clearly it is kind of mixing together in my head. So I did read a little bit less of this one, but Grumpy Sunshine, the heroine, is a grumpy one, and she is, oh yeah, she's going to go to her family. I think it's like Thanksgiving. Yeah, it's Thanksgiving, and her sister is engaged to her ex. And so she wants to have a date there, obviously. They had a one-night stand. Then she ends up asking him to fake date because he needs money, she has money, and she needs this. So I will talk to you soon. This is very sad. Maybe I will be able to talk to you in a better way later, but I am afraid it's not going to get less busy, but that is what we're working with. I am excited. And I'll keep reading and I'll talk to you soon. Hello everyone, so it's later now, there's still a lot of people, but I actually wanted to just quickly tell you that I don't know how exactly I'm going to be updating the next 2 days. I think, did I mention it in here or a different vlog maybe, but I obviously don't want to freak out and panic about how much I'm updating around Christmas, and so, you know, but I'm going to have there's going to be more family staying at our house, and I don't think I'm going to be comfortable filming. I will, of course, be filming my cats, and I'm just going to be reading how much I want, and we will see how it goes, but I actually do think there is, like, a time tomorrow that I could update you, because my aunt and my dad should go for, like, a walk or whatever, but either way, we'll see how it goes, but I just wanted to tell you that. So yeah, I am going home now, so I will enjoy the ride. And yeah, it was very nice today, but I am also very exhausted, so I'm gonna go get home. everyone. So it is time for a quick update. I'm sorry about the lighting, and I also feel like I look absolutely horrendous, but my baby is behind me and she's taken over my armchair. And you know what? I feel like so often I see people online make jokes and like slightly complain about their cats like sitting, in their space, in their bed or chair or whatever, but I'm just like, I am honored when she, sleeps in my spot because, like, that she, like, chose to sleep in my chair. It is just beautiful, and she is absolutely fucking adorable. So, anyway, I we have been chilling at home today. My dad and my aunt are away, so I can comfortably vlog for a second, and I finished 'Tis the Season for Revenge, and it was definitely a very fun book, but I just want to say before I forget and say anything else, I feel like this book is definitely presented as like a fun, lighthearted Christmas romance, like a steamy Christmas romance, whatever, but it actually does deal quite a bit, not like the main thing or anything, but it deals with some like abusive relationships and things around that. So just a warning for that. It is in the book. It's not, again, like the main theme or anything, but like it is there more than like as a mention. And so I just wanted to give you a warning if you want to avoid that or just want to be aware of it, because like I have not heard anyone say that. So yeah, but it is a very fun Christmas romance. It's definitely like smut heavy. Definitely not like a wholesome cozy romance, more of a festive, very steamy romance, which I did very much enjoy. It was very fun and such a quick read. I basically read it in one sitting. I stayed up to finish it, and again, we have the whole thing of like keeping the secret, and I don't want to complain about that because like I went into the book knowing that was like the main plot, but I just feel like it is something that is done quite often, and it almost always ends up happening exactly the same. And I absolutely hate the part of it where, the character is hiding something and they try to tell the other, but the other one either like stops them from telling it or something comes in to interrupt it, and I'm just like, that is so incredibly frustrating. And it happened repeatedly in this book, and I'm just like, oh my god. And in the end, I didn't completely hate the resolution, though there were some things that I wish were not there. But it was overall a very fun, steamy book. I loved Damien, the hero in this. Absolutely iconic. Abby was honestly amazing as well, and it was just like a fun, sexy Christmas romance, and it is quite short. So I don't know when this video is actually going to go up, so I don't know if anyone will still be reading Christmas books, but like I do think it's worth the hype. I did give it 4 stars, and I will absolutely be reading more by this author, and I did immediately save Big Nick Energy, I think, by Morgan Elizabeth, and I've heard good things about this book as well. It's also under 300 pages, and this one is a single mom romance, which actually also deals with an abusive relationship, but it's in the past, and in the note there is that like nothing happens on page, and that it's quite like a low angst, sweet and steamy romance, and I'm just like, I would love that right now. And so that is very high on my TBR. And then I also want to read A Risk Worth Taking by Jessica Joyce. So this is not on Kindle Unlimited, but I got it on sale for like under £1. So it's supposed to be 78 pages, and I feel like that's exactly what I need. And there's a blurb by Maisie Eddings, who I love, that says deliciously sexy and unbearably tender, which I'm like, the best combination. I would love that. So I think that's what I'm gonna read next, and we will see. Now, I don't know, again, at this point, I might not update you for a while, but I'll just keep reading. I'll keep hanging out with my beautiful babies, and I hope that you are doing well and okay this holiday season. And just look at her. Just look at her. I'm just like free therapy, when I look at my cats. everyone. So as you can see, I am back home or in my other home. And look at the lights behind me. Isn't that super cute? It's funny because they're actually like colorful lights, but I feel like on camera it looks white, which I think is good, but I love them. And I wanted to get it for Christmas, but I'm definitely gonna keep it. I do need to put it there a little bit differently, but I want to reorganize my bookshelves first. But I need to basically give you like a big summary of what I've been reading and doing and whatever. I just ended up deciding that I did not want to film the last few days that I had there because I just did not want to focus on being productive and filming, and I just wanted to spend time with my family. And I was also just like in this really weird reading mood. Just nothing felt normal, and I just like, I don't know, I couldn't fully focus and whatever. So I did, however, read some books, and we're gonna talk about that. I'm not fully sure if I think that the books that I'm going to tell you about I haven't talked to you about, so I'm sorry if I already told you something, but I don't think I did. So I read, okay, I'm going to start actually with the books that I liked less, and then I'm going to get to the one that I loved the most. So I read Love Under Contract by Cassie Connor. This was the audiobook that I was listening to. I might have told you that I was listening to this. I enjoyed this. Like, it is definitely a fun read. It's not something that I wouldn't recommend. It just didn't blow me away. And it's just kind of like a fun, steamy, fake-dating Christmas romance. And there's nothing like that emotional about it or anything. And I feel like there was just something missing, you know? Like I needed some more depth in it. I needed to feel more invested in the characters. But if you want just like a fun, chill time, and you want something easy, I do think this book is great for that. Obviously, I do want to get this video up as soon as possible, because I don't know if anyone will still keep reading Christmas books, which is why I want to get it up, hopefully tomorrow. So it's gonna be my last video of the year. But anyway, we're not talking about that right now. So that's that. I gave it 3 stars. And another book that I gave 3 stars is Just for the Holidays by Adriana Herrera. And this is actually another fake dating book, which was not planned. Obviously, there's a lot of fake dating romances in general, and then like Christmas romances specifically, because like it just makes a lot of sense and there's a lot of opportunities, you know? But this one is also second chance, and they get snowed in. And so basically they used to, be together, and they broke up like quite a while ago. And at first they learned that they might be working together in a movie, because the heroine is like a part of the production team, and the hero wants to be the like lead actor. And when he finds out that she's working on it, he's just like, okay, I can't take that role. But then their paths cross, and they end up fake dating in front of the hero's family. And it's supposed to be just like a short-term thing, but then they get snowed in there and, around the family, and so like they have to keep fake dating. And it is very fun. I do think that this is a book that's perfect for people who like the like family vibes part of Christmas, and you want to read about a book that has the family in it and this fake dating in front of them and like all that stuff. I do think that is perfect for that. And again, I do think I liked this one more, but it didn't wow me. And yeah, but it was really fun. I would definitely recommend this one. And so now we're gonna get to the best one, which is A Risk Worth Taking by Jessica Joyce. And I don't know if this is actually the reason why I didn't fully love these books, because this just like set the standard so high that after that I was just like, you know what, like nothing can like reach this level right now. And this is a novella, and I did not expect to like, I knew I would like it, but it was just absolutely incredible. We actually also kind of have like a one-night stand that turns into like a weekend together. They're at this party before New Year's Eve, like a few days, no. It's a party whatever, just some kind of holiday party. I don't remember the exact thing. And the heroine is supposed to fly to San Francisco, I think, the next day. And she just, you know, sees this guy there, and the whole night they're just like, you know, glancing at each other and thirsting over each other, and then they spend the night together, and the heroine wakes up finding out that her flight was canceled and she doesn't really have a place to stay, and they just have such a strong connection already that, you know, he's just like, why don't you stay here? And so she stays for extra, I think, 2 days. And I don't understand how Jessica Joyce managed to write this in such a convincing and beautiful way, where it's just like, they are meant to be together. They are perfect for each other. And it did not feel insta-lovey at all. Like, I know. Like, hearing that, it's like, there's no way that's not gonna feel insta-lovey. I don't know how, but it does not feel like insta-love at all. Like, it is just like so deeply emotional. The hero is such a cinnamon roll. They're so sweet and beautiful and amazing, and it's just like the most wonderful combination of like a steamy novella, but also just like so sweet and soft and tender and beautiful. And I think I did actually say that Maisie Eddings has the quote on the cover that's like, deliciously sexy and unbearably tender, and I feel like that explains the book so well. Like, it's unbelievable how tender and soft it is, and it is just like my personal perfect romance. And I cannot believe that it's just a novella. And like, Jessica Joyce has a book, I actually have that somewhere in there, that's You with a View, and I wanted to read it. I will be reading it for a video in the new year very soon. But I was very skeptical. I think like the cover I don't really like, and the plot didn't fully like, you know, excite me by itself, and it's a new author and I'm always skeptical of new authors nowadays. But after this, I'm just like, high top of my TBR. Like, there's no way I'm not gonna love that, and it's gonna be a full length novel, you know? So I'm obsessed. Absolutely recommend this. Even though it's like a holiday romance, I just would absolutely urge you to still read it now, because like, it is incredible, and it just has a life of its own outside of the fact that it's, you know, around the holidays, and it's just like so fucking perfect. So I loved that. And the last thing is that I've been reading You, Me Plus Baby by Rosie Adams. And I have only gotten halfway through. I actually thought that I read this book before, because I thought that I've read basically almost all of Rosie Adams' books, but it actually turns out, unless I forgot to put it on Goodreads, I have not read this one, and so I started it. It's like a accidental pregnancy situation, and it is super fun, and so I'll be finishing that. I obviously won't tell you my final thoughts, but like, I love this book. I don't like the cover, but the book inside is amazing, and I just love Rosie Adams, and so I think that's what I'm gonna finish the year off with. And I did save her other Christmas books. I will be diving in. So if you have not read Rosie Adams books before, you need to get to that, because like, she is absolutely incredible. And she posted on Instagram that she's, after a long time, gonna have a new release, and I'm so fucking ready, and I'm so excited. And yeah, so with that, I'm gonna shut up. And thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for being with me this year, whether, you know, you've been here the whole time or you're just joining or whatever. Thank you so much, and I hope that you all have a wonderful New Year's Eve and all of that. I really hope I'm gonna manage to put this up on time, but yeah, if you made it this far in the video, leave the fireworks emoji down below. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I will see you soon in another video. Bye!